What is up, good people? Juggling here. Hope you're having a great day. Yesterday I did a video, and I think it was causing some confusion. I had talked about taking some XRP and putting it on a separate Ledger Nano that I was going to sock away and just try to ignore and shoot for maybe 10 years out just to see what happens. And people on Twitter have been asking me, what is this escrow service you're using? What is this about? And look, it's nothing that exciting. It's nothing that novel. I just have Ledger Nanos coming out my ears. So I decided to stuff a little XRP, 1,000 XRP on one of these suckers, and stash it away. Now, you could accomplish this same task just by telling yourself, you know what, I'm not going to sell 100, 1,000, whatever the number is.
Dude, you already know that is exactly what I'm thinking. Like, that's how I contemplate. Like, you know how Scrooge dives around in his ginormous pile of money? That's... Hold on a second. And we're back from our commercially program sponsored. I don't know, but we're back. So let's do this.
You can just exhibit some self-control.
Yes, I would be able to do so.
Truth be told, I'm really making this more complicated than it is. And there is still no guarantee that if prices start to run, I won't break out that extra Ledger Nano and sell off my 1,000 XRP early. You never know. But I'm going to do my best to try to let it cook and just see what happens. I have my stash that
Pressure cooker.
I'm selling as the price goes up. Bentley time and all. And then I have this little extra that's put to the side just in case things get really crazy. And what spurred this idea was an article that was shared to me by Jerry Hall. And it was talking about how XRP was designed for a price of 10,000. And again, I might not have been clear in that video.
For me, why I don't need Bentley time, and this is just a personal ability or a personal goal, strive. This is what I want to see if I can do, whatever that would be called. The thought of setting a little away or setting some aside for the future, just in case it gets a little crazy. To me, in my imagination, the a little crazy is in direct reference to having, there's only one way to put it, having so much money that you don't have to worry about money for the rest of your life. To me, that thought flashes through my mind when I hear someone say, yeah, crypto is going to get a little crazy. So to me, there will be no Bentley time. So that when things do go crazy, I can go crazy, if that makes sense. Anyway, that's my plan.
But at the same time, I don't think anyone knows where this is going to go and how high it may actually run. And I said in the video, it's a double-edged sword, right? 10 years out, who's to say how high or low XRP may go? That's why I'm willing to put just a little bit aside so I'm not kicking myself.
And this is something else I've always thought of is, what would someone find more valuable? Jungle Ink's ability to will himself not to touch 1,000 XRP that he put on a Ledger Nano S somewhere and told himself he couldn't touch it for 10 years? Is that more valuable than someone putting away 1,000 XRP into a smart contract escrow that can only come true after the amount of time has passed? Once someone does that, there's no getting it back unless you go stop Bitcoin's chain and redirect it somewhere. That's the only way you're getting your smart contract revoked or changed, edited, audited, whatever you want to call it. Not audited, but edited. Yeah, so which is more valuable? That's the question I've been asking myself a lot. And in that question, or does that beg a bigger question? Could that be either bet upon or valued and traded? If that makes sense. Like it's kind of like the human race versus the blockchain inevitability kind of thing. I don't know. Anyway, back to Jungle.
Down the road. Now, I was just reading this article from AMB Crypto, and it's titled XRP. SBI CEO says XRP's market cap will easily overtake that of Bitcoin in 2019. And I'll go ahead and read you the direct quote from the article. Because XRP is already beginning to become international, XRapid will be used for fund transfers in 2019. By increasing the so-called XRP plastic use, we anticipate that Ripple's market capitalization will easily exceed the market capitalization of Bitcoin. Now, I gotta tell you, that quote makes me very bullish for multiple reasons. First of all, personally, I don't see Bitcoin sitting around 3,000 to 4,000 for the whole year. At some point this year, I expect a good old-fashioned cryptocurrency-wide bull run. Everyone getting wild-eyed, buying Bitcoin and every other coin under the sun. And that's fine because we know XRP can run with the best of them. And with all the progress that's been made since we started this bear market, I think in a buying frenzy, XRP will perform well. Anyone that wants to invest in cryptocurrency, if they're really looking at the news and the metrics and what's really going on, you have to be excited about the future with XRP. But what this quote really tells me is over at SBI, they are expecting some serious utility to kick in this year. And we see a lot going on with Ripple. We see a lot going on with R3. Coil is just getting up and running. We see as new exchanges pop up, XRP is not just one of the first to be listed, but it's a base currency. And if we are to expect both Bitcoin and XRP to take off, and XRP is going to pass the king, the reigning champion for the last 10 years, if XRP is going to be the number one cryptocurrency in terms of market capitalization, man, this is going to be an explosive.
Fire in the holes. Hold on.
Personally, myself, I'm just looking for Ripple to grow their...
I'll be back. I think I may have just had my first, oh my god, my phone's dying moment. I couldn't find my charger. I knew it was in the apartment somewhere. But, yeah. Got a little panicky there at the end. Shit. I was watching, I'm doing this. Let me finish this. Basically, the story I tell myself was this story. He's like, okay, that's cool. Or we could go the scientific route and make humans connected through a giant think tank. It's like, okay, so then we're doing the same thing, thinking of future possibilities. I can get down with that. How does your future possibilities story end? That's why we always reread. How does your future possibilities story end? Basically, mine ends in my success. Period. That's how they end. So let's get back to Mr. Ink.
That keep improving every day, and that's what we've seen. I would love to see progress be made with government regulatory clarity around the globe, because again, this is a global transfer system. We need it in all the major territories. But if we make some progress there, and Ripple keeps adding partners and getting more partners to use XRapid, practically use XRP in a real way, then I think this is going to be a very successful 2019. Those are really the big areas. We want more and more people using XRP, and we need government regulatory clarity. Those are the focal points. The price will take care of itself, and the market cap will do the same. Eventually, we will overtake Bitcoin. I don't know if it's going to be this year or the next year, but it's coming, because XRP is growing in importance every day. It's becoming more and more efficient, more and more cost-effective, more and more powerful. And we see the opposite with Bitcoin. It's going to be a currency that continues to slide in terms of market capitalization, in terms of importance. That doesn't mean it's going to fade away. It doesn't mean it's not a good investment. I just believe its position is the number one overall market cap is numbered. And our success will not come from the failures of other cryptocurrencies. It's going to come from the innovation that happens within our ecosystem. As cryptocurrencies grow in scale, as they become more and more widely adopted, XRP's competitive advantage will become greater and greater. Just send a payment with Bitcoin and send another one with XRP in the midst of a bull run and tell me what experience you like better. I believe
That's a good
Bezos'
point.
quote, that value and user
That's a very good
experience
point.
will always align at the end of the day.
I remember sending
Let me know
Litecoin
down
doing
below.
that.
Do you think the CEO of SBI has it right? Are we going to catch and pass Bitcoin's market cap by year end? And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.
Stocks to trade. We have a watching direct.
Ooh, stocks, trade, money,
This
monies.
gives you the ability.
Oh, Tony's having computer issues. Gaming Bros. What? What is this? Oh, look who it is.
Wish you were the girl.
What? Matt fucking Beasley. Yo. What?
Anyway, yeah, that coach stream shit is so other people can see me as well.
Hey, so since we gotta talk a little bit about crypto here, tell everybody what made you your big money in crypto.
Motherfucking Ripple made me the motherfucking bands. I probably spent about let me see, 2 G's maybe.
And when did you get in on Ripple?
And I got my shit. I got majority of my shit at half video right off.
Oh, come on. I don't need to watch this at 7:20.
52, I cashed out. 52,000 was about.
And 52,000, you mean $52,000?
Yeah, cash.
Back that ass
when
up.
me and Tom were doing a show on Christmas Eve, he wrote in on Christmas Eve and said,
I came there.
"Yeah, you said I just want to say thanks to Matt for telling me to buy Ripple at half a penny."
Man, look. I told motherfuckers to buy that shit. I told them. Motherfucker like, yeah, okay. Penny. I told them when it was 5 cents. I told them when it was a quarter. Just fucking listen. So, yeah, it is what it is. I had a good Christmas, bitch.
Brady says he's still.
Goddamn, that's what I call it. Shit.
That's great.
Hey, bro, I still ain't seen nobody. But you killed somebody, right?
Yeah, I killed that motherfucker.
Die Hard Ripple, folks.
So if somebody dies in the game, they ain't gotta quit. We could revive him, but I guess we didn't even know he was down.
The fact that he ain't in the party and shit like that, most motherfuckers just leave. You know what I'm saying? They be on some stupid.
But see, you know what? I made the party where I
Is that how you spell
thought about
die?
making the party private.
Hell if I know. What am I trying to say?
Oh, it's about to get smaller.
Now let me know if you see us. Oh yeah, I give you both my. That's guaranteed win right there. That bitch.
Not for me. I wish.
Who they run? They over here.
I see.
Let them run up on. Let this motherfucker see me. Let this motherfucker see me. Oh, they coming. Sliding and shit. Oh, that bitch doing some hocus pocus shit. She just made a little portal. She right there.
This is, I can see why this is effective. Why people like to do this.
Get her ass. She hurt.
Because you're. Oh man. Yo. I wonder. I'd be very curious. I'd be very curious to find out if the.
Damn, did you kill me or was that a dude from the other team?
I'd be very curious
Was
to
you
see what this does to children's aggression in public situations, social, school. I'd be curious to see if that has an effect on it.
Man, I had it going on. I was laying into them cats. The problem was that little gun ran out of ammo too damn fast. Hey, you need to invite somebody else in. You got anybody else that's on?
That's cool. Let's see what else we got going on here. 14 minutes. Let's see.
Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
What?
Hey everybody, this is the digital asset investor. I just got done.
I gotta
dealing
watch
with
that too.
baseball today. I had to, just to give you an idea of how focused in on baseball I am with my sons. First, I went and picked one son up from school, and then I went and picked the other son up from school. I went straight to the baseball facility. I spent an hour on the tee and throwing to both of them. Then I threw balls, ground balls, and balls in the dirt. One of my sons is the first baseman. And then one of my sons had a baseball practice at that same facility right after that. And so that bled into doing that.
All right, I'm gonna
To the grocery store.
listen to this while I eat. If I come up with anything good, I'll let you know. Well, totally not related to the current video at hand. I just came up with this, and it makes quite a lot of sense. Once I started becoming more self-aware, I actually started doing what Gary Vee supports. Now, I don't talk to people about my plans anymore. I wait until people ask me what I'm doing, and I tell them about Gary Vee. His success helped begin my story of my success. Basically, I think the reason why what he's saying is clicking for me now is because now I am much more self-aware to ask myself questions, and I receive the honest answer. That's pretty much what that means. Like, I give myself literally the most honest answer possible is what I receive when I ask myself things. And I think being egotistical gets in the way of that and inhibits that in such a way that then has a ripple effect onto every decision made after that is skewed by this egotistical view that makes everything always about you, for you, because of you type thing. Anyway, now I'm going to go back and focus.
Facebook is paying attention to blockchain now. Obviously, of course they are. Facebook
Sorry, I figured you might as well tune in.
seriously evaluating blockchain's potential to allow internet users to log into various services via one set of credentials without relying on third parties. Mass adoption is coming. I'm not going to read all this. It's just an article he's tweeting about how, of course, Facebook's getting in. Everybody's getting in, folks. Everybody. Okay, moving along. This is from my buddy at ECOSSEXRP1, James Bond. That was not, now he's got James Bond in his logo. That was not my favorite James Bond. Roger Moore was my favorite James Bond, but really he only was because that was the generation I grew up in. My favorite James Bond movie was A View to a Kill. I always loved that particular movie. Now, Roger Moore is, to me, always was kind of a little bit of a sissy. He seemed kind of a little bit of a, maybe he was a little bit of not as masculine as Sean Connery and some of the others. But anyway, I thought he did a good job. Okay, moving along. This is huge, folks. This is what he sent to us. I told you that the rumor was that Samsung is coming out with this new phone. Now, I watched part of their
Yeah, that was cool.
This phone that they're coming out with
It's
is like
pretty sweet.
$1,900. I think they're
It's
calling
pretty
it
sweet,
the
though.
Galaxy S10. The phone, it literally folds out so that you're looking at a screen of two phones. It is really awesome. And they are going to have, I'll read this short part. South Korean tech giant Samsung just made a major announcement. Company confirmed that its new flagship smartphone, Galaxy S10, features a secure storage backed by hardware which houses your private keys for blockchain-enabled mobile services. How awesome is that? If you think that's not adoption, then you may as well turn this video off because blockchain is about to change the world, folks. And it's right in front of your face, literally right here. This is a big one right here. This can set something off. Okay, I want to hit you with this because this article creeped me out today. I'll be honest. I want to read something for you here. Okay, now I want you to pretend as I read this to you, what I'm about to show you. I want you to pretend that digital assets on, let's say, Binance and Coinbase. You have those apps loaded on your phone, okay? Here, you're about to find out what can happen to you, because you have to type in the password so that those apps, you can go straight into those apps. Even if you have two-factor authentication and all of that set up, let me read to you what can happen to you. Early one Friday evening in autumn, Rob Ross, a San Francisco entrepreneur, was scrolling through emails on his computer, attempting to tie up loose ends ahead of the weekend, when he received a trio of alarming messages on a screen of his mobile phone. Please approve the withdrawal request from your Gemini account, the first message read. Gemini is a cryptocurrency exchange. Tap to get your Gemini security code and read a second. And finally, third, a new device called Chrome has been registered. At 5:47 p.m. Pacific time on October 26th, Ross had become the victim of a so-called SIM swap, in which a perpetrator is able to gain remote control of a person's SIM, or subscriber identity module card, at times reportedly by bribing someone with access to it, granting the perpetrator access to the personal data, including email, phone numbers, and passwords. Ross didn't know at the time, but his entire life savings of $1 million had just been pilfered. Many mobile devices in the U.S. have physical SIM cards intended to securely contain a customer's account information. So, folks, I went and found this just so that you could know about it. And typed in the Wired article, "How to Protect Yourself Against a SIM Swap Attack." I wanted to read you just this small thing from this. At its most basic level, a SIM swap is when someone convinces your carrier to switch your phone number over to a SIM card that they own. They're not doing it for a prank call cover or to rack up long distance charges. By diverting your incoming messages, scammers can easily complete the text-to-base two-factor authentication checks that protect your most sensitive accounts. Or if you don't have two-factor set up in the first place, they can use your phone number to trick services into coughing up your passwords. Folks, this is about as scary as it gets. Now, you can go and look at this article, and they give you some ideas on how you can protect your
Shit,
SIM
that's no good.
card. Well, that's not the real solution. The real solution is what I tell you all the time, Ledger Nano S. You can go in the description of every video I've ever done, and you can go straight to their website and get the hard wallet. It's the only safe way for you to store your digital assets offline. Go do it. This is like the creepy. That's so creepy. The idea of someone getting into your phone. My wife, this week, we got a phone call from someone who had somehow been sent an email with her name and carrier and her number, and basically telling them that she's like making up some whole thing about how she's charging this or that, and she had not done anything. Someone had obviously hacked our carrier or whatever, and so it's extremely scary what goes on out there, and so you need to be prepared. Go get the Ledger Nano S. I also included a link to the Cool Wallet if you wanted to have a credit card sized storage device. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe. Hit the like button. Tell your friends and family to go get the Ledger Nano S and quit having your digital assets on these exchanges. It's a disaster waiting to happen. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Thank you indeed. And I think that is all. Bitcoin is inevitable, but most of the world hasn't realized it yet. I can agree with that. The last meetup I was with, the last meetup I attended reminded me how early it is and that they haven't been able to jump in and splash around. Liquidity will not be an issue nor short supply. Yeah, so the last one, granted, it was Cardano, but still, as far as the, like, not the, Ripple convention, IMF banker, not that kind of, in the public media. But if you think about it, most crypto news kind of stays under any general media or stays out of their distribution information. I don't know. It's not covered. So the moment I realized, and this was another thing for Gary Vee that I learned from him, the moment you realize, or this was a moment I realized that becoming self-aware brought me a lot closer to be able to conduct myself in such a way that I now see these people, the people being those that create the news, cover it, and distribute it, I see myself being closer to them after having gained some perspective as to the timing of where we are in this. Yes, we have gone to 20K, but that was, on the backs of those that have gotten into the space up until now. That's not to say family trusts and private hedge funds and everyone else trying to make someone else and themselves more money. I mean, that's what hasn't come to fruition. So that's why I'm saying liquidity will not be an issue nor short supply. And I think that's gonna about do it, but I might want to read some of these. So you're saying as much as 700 people realize that? You need more nines. Yeah. Credit card payments, 2 trillion. Securitized debt, 100 trillion. Bond market, 82 trillion. Offshore banking, gold bullion, that's the only one that I knew off the top of my head. That's a block ton of money. Dang. Why is it that the only time I see LTC being discussed is with these little tweet commercials with weird slogans like Silver LTC? It might be an attempt to sway public perception so hopefully the public's opinions will benefit. It might be an attempt to sway public perception, so hopefully the public's opinion will benefit, will also hold on. It might be an attempt to sway public perception, so hopefully the public's opinions will benefit those that helped.
Well, it just happens just like that. And it'll happen the same way this time, except it'll probably happen faster. From Sergeant Obi-Wan, crypto markets continue climbing as Bitcoin and XRP transaction volume surge. So one day you have no volume, the next day all of a sudden, boom, volume, and markets follow. Okay? That'll happen in an instant when it happens. And it's already happening a little bit. Okay. Also, this is also from Sergeant Obi-Wan. This is good. Finextra. Physical banks will become obsolete. Negative interest rates are a joke. Bail-ins are sure to follow. And this is exactly kind of what I've been telling you. And he tweeted this article, which shows you that these central banks and governments, they still don't get it. These are the IMF. This is about the IMF economists. IMF wants to suggest separate cash and e-money to enable negative interest rates. In other words, they still don't get it, folks. The central bankers and these
Negative interest rates. Oh God,
sitting behind closed doors that are academic.
that's a
And we're
joke.
out here in the real world with those of us who have lost trust in all of this. They don't understand. We are just hardworking average people out here who don't want people to destroy our money. And these people, if you want to see what destroying money looks like, negative interest rates, what a joke. In other words, they force us into a system where we have to go and have a bank account, and then they put in negative interest rates, so we literally have to pay them to have the bank account that they're forcing us to have. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. This International Monetary Fund of central banks creating two separate currencies, e-money and cash, as a way to enable the negative interest rates that will likely be needed to combat the future recession. In other words, to combat the future recessions that are created by these monetary authorities. They're going to come out with two versions of their monopoly money. And what they don't understand is this genie's out of the bottle, folks. Digital assets are here. And you can create all the digital assets you want. But the only ones that the people are going to flow to are going to be the ones they trust, that you're not involved in, that Jamie Dimon's not involved in. Jamie Dimon may be able to control it while it's under in his bank walled garden. The IMF, they may be able to control it while it's inside of their walled garden. But this is a global world, and the genie's out of the bottle and is not going back in. And the genie is Bitcoin, XRP, any of these digital assets that are not controlled by these governments. I mean, this is a no-brainer, and they don't understand. You lost our trust. The digital asset investors' trust was finally lost in the financial crisis when I saw the bailouts, and then when they started to create the Labour Foundation for bail-ins. No, that is not capitalism. It is not free markets. That is people that are destroying common sense in finance, and it won't stand. That's why all these digital assets are here. Okay, so next, this is from XRP Veteran, and this is Mark Yusko from Morgan Creek Capital, and he makes the same kind of point that I just said. He's asked by Rand Nooner on his channel about JP Morgan coin, and Yusko just love what they're doing, but for some reason they are anti-XRP, and I can't figure out why. So I'm going to ask them on Twitter today. I really love everything they say and everything they're doing, and I think they're true leaders in this whole thing. But they are just wrong on XRP, and that's the part of this I can't figure out. And so I'm just going to ask them. I'm going to copy them on Twitter, and I'm going to ask them today. And I'll show you. Actually, I'll go ahead and show you now. This is their index fund, Morgan Creek Digital Assets. The Digital Asset Index Fund, an index fund built for the world's leading institutions. And I want to ask them why they don't have. Look at this. They've got all of these digital assets. They've even got Ethereum Classic that has undergone a 51% attack. And they've got it listed on here as being included in their fund, and they don't have XRP. I don't understand why these guys are so anti-XRP, because they obviously are. If they weren't, you would hear them talk about it more. He just said in this video that I'm showing you, he said it might be a Ripple code. He obviously doesn't like XRP. And I want to know why. I don't understand. Unless he just assumes that is a Bitcoin maximalist and just assumes that Ripple is no better than JP Morgan and that they're the same thing. But he knows, he's a smart guy. He knows JP Morgan is tied to the dollar because that's what they represent. The dollar that's being destroyed over time. XRP does not represent that. XRP, there's 100 billion. There won't be anymore. And he knows that. And I don't understand that there's a big, huge difference between XRP and what JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon represent. And so I don't understand it, but they will be asked today by the digital asset investor. Next, now this is from XRP, XR Pirate, at XRP Pirate _ asked me if I would kind of lead this charge, and I am glad to do it because I think it's interesting. And what he's referring to is Elon Musk, and this was an XRP Crypto Wolf tweet. Elon Musk, I'll just read this. Elon Musk said he likes cryptocurrency for its fluid ability to route around trouble. It bypasses currency controls, and crypto is far better way to transfer value than pieces of paper. That's for sure, without a doubt. Elon should look into XRP. I agree. Says Elon Musk thinks paper money is going away and crypto will take its place. All right, I agree with Elon Musk, and so because XR Pirate asked me to do so, I'm going to see if we can get the attention of you know what happened here, folks? There it is. I thought my tweet had disappeared, but I'm going to see if we can get it ramped up here. Let's get this back up. Well, if I can type it right, RIPPL. Here, let me see if I missed something here. RIPPLE. All right. What we're going to do, says, hi, Elon Musk. I read that you believe crypto will take the place of paper money. I agree. And then, actually, I'm going to attach a graphic to this that I can't do right this second. You'll see this tweet go out, though, in a few minutes. But,
all right, I'm going to wrap this one up.